Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stacey Spivey here with Eric Chilton, Lauren Coleman, and Monique Robinson.
The gang's all here, as we like to say. Hey, don't forget that you can also watch us not only on air, but on Fire Stick, Roku, and our app, whether you're doing that on your TV or your phone.
Let's go ahead and get started with the news of the day. New at 4 o'clock, the State National Guard will provide 25 Guard members to help Alamance Regional Medical Center. Cone Health applied several weeks ago for assistance from the Guard. Alamance Regional is fighting staffing shortages due to the pandemic, like many other healthcare systems across the nation, and thought help from the National Guard would be an opportunity to assist healthcare workers as needed. Guard members will begin servicing basic clinical and administrative duties starting tomorrow.
Is this a case in which we are short-staffed? We are in a situation where all of our staff, because of the surges, that they have been extremely busy and extremely in a stress situation, as a lot of our caregivers across the nation. So, they've done a fantastic job, and this opportunity for our guardsmen to come in and provide some relief to our front line is it's fantastic and amazing.
The help is coming as hospitalizations statewide are rapidly declining. The state says there are 3,812 North Carolinians in the hospital with the virus. It's actually 144 fewer patients than yesterday and more than 900 fewer than this time just last week. Now, on the local level, Guilford hospitalizations are showing a similar trend. You can see right there, right now, there are 137 COVID patients in county hospitals. It's 14 fewer than yesterday and 91 fewer than a week ago. Now, the gaps that you see in this graph behind me are when holidays and weekends, and that's when the county doesn't report this number.
Winston-Salem Fire Chief Trey Mayo says investigators know where the fire started inside the Weaver fertilizer plant, but they're still working to figure out how it started.
Chief Mayo said officials aren't sharing the origin of this fire at this time to preserve the investigation, but he did lay out the timeline of the fire.
Chief Mayo says the 911 call came in around 6:45 last Monday. Officials say the employee reported smoke and flames coming from the loading dock. Chief Mayo says he's not sure what the connection is to the loading dock and where investigators believe the fire started. The plant stopped operations for the day around 4:30, just a few hours before the fire was reported.
I think it's going to be longer rather than shorter. When you have that much destruction, it creates some challenges in your cause and origin determination.
Investigators are interviewing Weaver employees as part of the investigation.
Remember, families who were displaced because of the Winston Weaver plant fire can now get reimbursed. The Weaver Fertilizer Company shared funds to the Love Out Loud Winston-Salem group to help residents who were within that 1-mile radius for evacuations. Residents will need to show proof of residency and hotel receipts, according to an email from the city. Evacuees can call 336-747-3067 for more information.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Rockingham County Sheriff's deputies identified the victims involved in a shooting in Reedsville early this morning. Officials say Ravine Daniels was shot and killed in her home on Moyer Mill Road, and Quantez Moore was injured in that same shooting. Deputies received a call around 3:30 this morning about a person who showed up at the hospital with a gunshot wound. The investigation pointed them to the home on Moore Mill Road, where they found Ravine dead inside. Authorities have not said what led to the shooting or released suspect information. Greensboro police have not shared any updates on the shooting of a 17-year-old. The teen was shot at a bus stop on Chapel Ridge Drive when someone fired shots at him and others he was with. The boy was shot in the leg and taken to the hospital, but he is expected to be okay. Police have not released any suspect information, so if you know anything about this, call police or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. Minnesota police arrested a 17-year-old suspect they were searching for when Amir Locke was killed. The suspect is Locke's cousin, according to charging documents. Mackay Camden Speed was wanted for shooting and killing a man back in January. Authorities were carrying 3 no-knock warrants at an apartment and building in Minneapolis last week, searching for the teenager, when they barged into Locke's apartment and killed him. Authorities representing the Locke family confirmed Speed and Locke were cousins and that Speed was not in Locke's apartment at the time of this deadly shooting. New details emerge in the trial of Jennifer Crumley. That is the mother of the teenager charged with shooting and killing 4 students at a Michigan high school. An investigator testified Crumley's mother texted him if he had shown teachers a picture of his new gun the day before the shooting. Other texts say Jennifer mentioned Ethan looking up bullets online while in school. The Crumley's attorney insists the parents had no idea their son was planning an attack and didn't make the gun easy to find in their home. Prosecutors argue the Crumleys neglected the mental state of their son.
Well, happy Wednesday. I've heard so many people say it feels amazing outside, and that's simply because look at these temperatures. 50s for you, 56 the current temperature in Greensboro, 57 there in Reedsville, also 56 down in Asheboro. Boone, not too shabby either at 49 degrees even now. Now, take a look at Burlington. We haven't seen these skies in quite a while, that wind whipping all of these flags out there over the last couple of hours, and it's been breezy, not just in Burlington, but kind of everywhere across the triad. Winds kind of coming out of this southwestern direction in Greensboro, southern direction in Asheboro, all kind of in the 5 to 10 mile per hour range, but we have seen some wind gusts across the area, maxing even greater than that. Reedsville max wind gusts today at 18 miles per hour. So we've been seeing some breezy conditions, and that pattern is going to continue almost each and every day until we get into the weekend. But also good news, temperature is going to be staying warm even for tonight. I mean, for the most of us, we're going to still be above freezing. 33 tonight, the low in Greensboro. And then as we look to the foothills, some of those same numbers still here. Now, some places still getting a little bit below freezing, but this trend is going to continue where day by day, we're just going to get warmer and warmer, not only for the afternoon, but also for the evening. Tomorrow, forecasting temperatures again in the 50s with plenty of sunshine, and also getting to see some 60s. Some places even 70s before the end of the week. I know it's hard to believe we were just talking about snow, but I'm also going to be talking about that too before the 4 p.m. hour ends.
Women in North Carolina can now go to the pharmacy and get birth control without a prescription. It went into effect on February 1st and allows qualified pharmacists to provide certain contraceptives after the patient completes an assessment. The patient must be 18 years or older. Dr. April Miller is an assistant professor of obstetrics and gynecology with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. She says that questionnaire includes things like your height, weight, blood pressure, as well as information about your menstrual period and medical history. Dr. Miller explains the benefits of this new law.
There are many more pharmacies in the state than physicians' offices. I think this will greatly increase access and hopefully help women plan pregnancies.
But this only allows pharmacists to give out the pill and patches. Dr. Miller says birth control like IUDs and implants are the most effective with the lowest pregnancy rates.
I still think it's best for a patient to seek medical care from a physician or advanced practice practitioner, such as a nurse practitioner or nurse midwife. However, again, if access is an issue, being able to go to your local pharmacy is a really great option.
It's important to note birth control has other benefits, including helping with period regulation, decreasing acne and cyst formation, according to Dr. Miller. Now, under this law, pharmacists will also be able to prescribe prenatal vitamins, HIV medications, and nicotine replacement therapy. Our sister station did speak with the North Carolina Board of Pharmacy. The executive director said they are still waiting for final protocols in place by the State Department of Health and Human Services before those services can get underway at pharmacies. But he says he expects it to happen soon. So a lot in there, but the main thing is this is going to increase access to birth control for a lot of women. Another interesting point that I wanted to point out was that this is going to be great for people that are in between insurance companies or maybe jobs, or maybe they're moving and they just haven't gotten, a new prescription yet. They can always go and pick it up at the pharmacy.
That's pretty neat. I didn't think about that aspect when she was talking about that access to birth control. I was thinking about the long-term effects like the foster care system and things of that nature, and limiting those unwanted pregnancies, because a lot of people don't have access to birth control. Then they get pregnant, and there might be certain people that aren't in a situation to care for a child.
Yeah.
So
guarantee, well, there's going to be a lot on this, right? I can see, because I'm completely on the fence. Exactly what you said, I agree with. The access to birth control for people that want to use adults and that type of thing. My fear is that will there be fewer teenage pregnancies? Are you saying that, premarital sex is okay? There's going to be people that go with this on both sides and run with
this, you have to be 18.
Okay, good. I did not hear that.
You can, if you are a minor, you can go to a doctor's office, a physician, and they can prescribe you a contraceptive without parental consent. However, that does not mean that you can go to a pharmacy. You have to go to a physical doctor's office.
So the 18-year, okay, good, because I did not get that.
Yes.
And then that brings up something else we could talk about another time. But when my kids turned 16, they had to sign to allow me to have access to their medical records now. That's a new thing that I thought, wait, I'm the parent. How can I not? You have to sign a form like the HIPAA laws to be able to have access.
That is another conversation.
Anyway, that's part of this,
worth
part of the whole
having.
thing.
Absolutely. It also makes me think about. I just lost my train of
Yeah,
thought.
that's okay. Welcome to my world.
What I was going to say was something like this. I think the big part about this is going to be getting that message out there and letting people know that this is here. And we've seen it work in other states before, so it has been successful.
Right, yeah, we are definitely not the first state to do this.
Now you know how I feel all the time. My line of thought.
It's
gone.
a Wednesday. We're almost there.
We'll be right
Halfway
back.
there.
To the weekend.
Stay there.
Hump day.
48 hours.
Mic check, Jalen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it's on. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm fixing it now. It fell off my thing. I got you. Don't worry. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you hear me, Tasha? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's right here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. How long I got? Where I'm at, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 26, 27, 36, 42. Thank you. Hey, friends.
We are 5 days away from Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles, and some of us might be pulling harder for the team with several Triad connections.
Yeah, I might become an overnight Bengals fan because 4 guys from the Triad are on their roster. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey actually spoke with their #1 fans, their moms. Jalen, I know they have to be so proud.
Just a few minutes ago, I was at the store getting me some gas, and a man rolled by. He said, "Who they? Who they?" I said, "Who they think they gonna beat them Bengals?"
Actually, Akeem fell in love with football. I mean, when he was a young boy. because he is from a football family. But I'm just so over the moon for all of the young men. It's such a special journey. You know, it's you just cannot put the words together because it's almost like a fairy tale. Like, is this really happening?
Yes, Mrs. Reader, this is really happening. The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles, and the Triad will be represented in a big way.
All of us had a story, you know, all of us had a story. And just to know that little old Triad, we got these people coming out and they finna go to the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the NFL. I'm just extremely excited for everybody.
At this point, I don't know who's more excited, the players or their moms.
Just so excited, just trying to stay calm and, you know, not get caught up in the glamour.
I've never been to a Super Bowl, so I'm really excited. I mean, the organization got things lined up for, you know, the family and friends. And I guess when I get there, I just enjoy every bit of it.
So, what is this trio of mothers looking forward to the most from their sons being in the Super Bowl?
More than anything, this is something that he had envisioned when he was little. And just to be his parent, to know that he has actually put in the work to get to this point, and now he's about to see the fruits of his labor.
It's about him. It's not really about me, you know? So I'm looking forward to hearing about the experience that he had. I'm looking forward to see the smile on his face. He's gonna have his family there. He's gonna have his kids there. I'm just looking forward for everything for him.
But the real question is,
Who they? Say, who they? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Nobody.
So it looks like, Jalen, your mic's not working. Unfortunately, because you've been working so hard on
He
this
has.
story
He
for
has
so
for
many
days.
days. We are so proud of you for reaching out to these moms, and you can tell their pride is just through the roof of their sons. I mean, can you imagine your child going to the Super Bowl? I can't.
This story had me smiling the whole time because when I think of moms, I think of them as our biggest support system, our biggest cheerleaders. So for them to see their sons from the very beginning to this grand moment with the Super Bowl, it's got to be an overwhelming feeling.
You know, I keep thinking of one day, like if, let's say they win, it would be so cool to have the four of them come back here and hold some sort of camp for all, you know what I mean? You know how they do that? They come back.
That.
Be so cool for the four of them to come together and kind of service the whole Triad since they're from different schools all over.
I love it.
I think the support of their families as well is also going to help them want to win because, you know, like I said, the moms and families and all that being that big support system, and they know they sacrificed so much for them and going into their career, so they probably want to bring it home for them.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're not a Rams fan, this is what Jalen was saying, you better start rooting for the Bengals because you have some local guys on the team, okay?
We gotta get on the train, get on the train.
I think I'm gonna have to wear some orange and black, even though I don't like Halloween colors. We'll be right back.
All right, good job, Jalen. No, you.
Welcome back. So the other day, stumbled across this on Facebook. I had forgotten about it. I thought this would be a great way to spend some time on a sunny afternoon in Greensboro if you're looking for something to do. The Downtown Greensboro organization is gearing up for their Greenway golf cart tours again. It's a tour of the 5-mile Greenway loop around the downtown area. Project manager Dabney Sanders says it all started in an unusual way.
Well, for many years, I would be giving either tours in my car for donors. And then we had this idea of using a golf cart just so we could get on the sections of the Greenway that are not accessible by car. And we were doing it for potential donors to the project, or if we were working with someone that needed a little extra deeper knowledge. And then people were finding them so fascinating, we started realizing that it was really something that the general public could benefit from as well.
You know, she says the tours, they're so popular now that you have to book in advance through their website at downtowngreenway.org to even get a spot. The tour doesn't take too long, and she said you might actually learn something along the way.
So we provide, I lead the golf cart tours, and so I provide just a little history about the project, how it got started, why we're doing it as we're riding along. We talk a lot about all of the various public art features, the neighborhood markers. So we really try to talk about the Greenway itself, integrating comments about programming that happens, how people can be involved as a volunteer. But then just by the nature of doing this 4-mile loop in downtown Greensboro, we end up talking a lot about the history of Greensboro.
She said that's what it kind of morphed into, almost like a historical tour, and that a lot of people go just to get kind of the history lesson. One of the images that you saw there was an elderly lady in the front, and then there was a young couple with a baby in the back, and she said on the same day we had our oldest and youngest golf cart tour riders come in, and she said the stories that everybody told about their own experiences were part of it, because she said the older lady said her husband was a part of the police force when they had to go down and make sure everything was okay for the sit-in movements, and she told stories about that.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, the young couple had just moved to Greensboro and were trying to learn something about the area. So she said the people and their stories on these tours is part of the experience.
Beautiful. Well, I love it. I think it's a great idea.
Me too.
I can relax, you know, get some education going on and enjoy the nice breeze, especially like on a spring day.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When the weather warms up a little bit, you know, it'd be perfect to go downtown, do that, and then when the social district is implemented, then you can just walk on over to the social district and enjoy your time in downtown Greensboro.
She brought that up because she said some people email and say, can they bring a glass or a drink of wine or beverage or alcohol beverage? And she said that we're talking about that with the social district aspect. So
I just love where downtown Greensboro is headed.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
On the map.
We'll see you in a few. Stick around.
Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear this? Can you go out? Can you hear this? I don't think you can. Hey, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very low, very low, very low. Give me 1 sec. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The trim was at like 0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Any better?
Yes.
Is this okay? Do you want it more? Do you want it less?
It's great.
Great? Okay. So
2 minutes. Here, I'll go ahead and bring you down.
hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so I guess at some point, whatever fader was mic 9 got flipped over to router 6, so I just changed it back to mic 9. I don't know if that'll affect router 6 at all, but that's what I did. So.
Should probably put it here on my own.
Right, that's what I was asking, if there's any way, I don't know, Tasha or someone can just play something on PC2.
Can you do that?
And then you'd have to bring up PC2's audio.
On their phones, they're banking with Bank of America. They're saving.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check, check. 1, 2.
Today on U Day, Coach Lamont highlights Mary McLeod Bethune, how this historian reminds us about the power of faith.
Educator Mary McLeod Bethune once said this: "Faith is the first factor in life devoted to service. Without it, nothing is possible. With it, nothing is impossible." Faith is a fruit of the Spirit which empowers us to believe in anything. This fruit called faith will allow you to taste its contents, whether negative or positive. That means faith will protect the mindset that you have placed belief in. If you believe you're not good enough, faith will protect it. If you believe you can speak to a mountain and that mountain be moved, faith will protect it. With this new revelation, how can you apply faith to your life? I guess we will have to wait and see, based off of the fruit in your life that you will bear. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, it wasn't just a nice day here in the Triad. Across the nation, not too bad of weather everywhere. I mean, the coldest temperature down up north, well north of us in Minnesota there, but elsewhere, temperatures 60s, 50s, 30s. Chicago, they're always cold, so it's really not too bad for them. 39 there. High pressure in place. That's why all of the southeast, including us here, have been just seeing nice weather, and why that story does continue for tomorrow. Now, this cold front here, an upper level trough, is going to send this cold front across much of the mid-Atlantic as we go towards your Saturday. And that will be a key factor and a key player in what we could potentially see on Sunday. So this particular Model 1 case scenario kind of showing you some light showers ending out your Saturday. And then yes, that S word, snow, is possible on this case scenario for your Sunday, and then clearing out very quickly for your Monday. So that's kind of like the possibility, but there's three primary questions. How far offshore will that low pressure system form that pumps in the moisture and potentially could bring us some snow? And then again, what is the exact timing, strength, and track of that cold front, of that trough system that's producing that cold front? If the cold air arrives before the low pressure, we could see snow. If it's after, it could be rain or just plain old dry. I'll tell you more on the forecast coming up.
To keep my hair this big, I have to use that much hairspray. And you just heard that on the mic check. Hey, I'm an 80s child and I will use all the hairspray that I want to.
Hey everybody, welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm so lonely. Look, everybody's in the monitors. Monique is here, Stacy,
Hey,
Lauren.
y'all.
30 more minutes coming up. Tanya Rivera walked in too. She's over there.
It's the
all
Eric
the ladies.
show.
Yeah, Eric with the ladies, right? Welcome to all of you watching the 4 to 5 right here on News 2. You can also watch it on Fire Stick, Roku, or the News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet.
We're going to go ahead and jump into some of your headlines. Investigators know where the Weaver fertilizer plant fire started inside, but they're still working to figure out how it started. Chief Mayo said officials aren't sharing the origin of the fire at this time to preserve the investigation, but he did lay out the timeline of the fire. Chief Mayo called the 911 call, says the 911 call came in around 6:45 last Monday. Officials said the employee reported smoke and flames coming from the loading dock. Now, Chief Mayo said he's not sure what the connection is to the loading dock and where investigators believe the fire started. The plant stopped operations for the day around 4:30, just a few hours before the fire was reported. Investigators are interviewing Weaver employees as part of this investigation.
Orange County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that happened on Industrial Drive near Mebane. Officials say 2 adults and a child showed up at the UNC Hillsborough Emergency Department with gunshot wounds. The car they showed up in had multiple bullet holes in a smoking engine. Industrial Drive runs parallel to Interstate 40 and 85. The victims are expected to be okay, and investigators say they do not believe the shooting was random. Investigators are checking surveillance systems at businesses, and no suspect information has been released at this time.
The Davidson County Sheriff's Office is searching for someone who stole a catalytic converter. Take a look at your screen. Authorities are trying to identify this man in this truck. Deputies say the theft happened off Old Highway 52 near Price Road in Lexington. If you recognize this man, call the Crime Prevention Unit at this number, 336-242-2138.
OMG, here's what happened to me today. I posted this. It says, another reason to lock your car when parked in a public place. I just opened the door of a look-alike car and sat in it before realizing it was not my car. Can I tell you, if there was video, this would have been my face. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Okay, well, I'm serious. It was like slow motion. I could not believe that I was in someone else's car.
It's a horrible feeling.
So did the other person like come up to you while
No.
you were in the car? Now that
Thank
would have
goodness.
been bad.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I've actually done this too.
Because it was the same kind of car? Because
Right.
Yeah, it was the exact same car as our executive producer Courtney's car. So I walked up to it. The door was unlocked. I got in and she goes, wait a second, this isn't my car,
I
Stacey.
pulled at the handle
So I had to get
before
out.
and like, why is my key not working?
I have done that too, and then I'm like, wait, I don't have that jacket. Oh, this
Right,
is not my
right.
car.
It is like the worst feeling, and you're like, I'm in somein else's space, right?
Yeah,
So,
lock your car.
lock your car, people. All right, I appreciate knowing that all of you have probably been in this situation. Here's what some of the folks replied to online as well. Lydia said, I can do one worse. Had someone unlock my car and put their friends' golf clubs in the back seat, say model and color, their key fit my car. And of course, Stacy told me, yes, I've done the same, thank you. Karen replied, oops, yeah, for sure. Carol said she has done that at least twice. And then Randall replied, not mistakenly sat in the wrong lookalike car, but recently repeatedly tried to open one's door. Why isn't this X, Y, and Z door unlocking? Yes, it is good to know I am not alone, but I have to tell you, it brings me to this. More than 870,000 cars were stolen in 2020. Numbers for 2021 car thefts likely won't be much better. But Consumer Reports says taking some small steps can make your car less of a target. And the first one, it's locking your car.
If you leave your key or your key fob in the vehicle and it's unlocked, it's an open invitation.
Joel and Nina think they left the fob key inside their unlocked car with the garage door open. Their car was stolen the day after Christmas.
I will never, ever leave the fob key in the car again.
Whether you park a car in the garage, driveway, or on the street, lights are key.
Simply having a light that turns on automatically if anyone approaches your garage can really be effective in scaring away potential thieves.
You may want to consider a security camera or a well-positioned video doorbell as well. Consumer Reports says anti-theft devices work, and having one may save you as much as 15% on your auto insurance.
Well, shout out to Brenda Wagner for watching and commenting on my Facebook saying today's weather is perfect. I don't know about that, but it is really nice out there. I think I'm more of a spring baby, so by Friday, I'm gonna probably say it's perfect. As temperatures soar into those upper 60s, near 70s across the area, 56 is the current temperature in Greensboro with those winds out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. Like I told you, it's gonna feel like spring. If you can't tell, that is my favorite season as temperatures start to warm up as we go into the weekend, but they quickly fall. It's like a tease. Temperatures for the Sunday are going to barely get into those 40s for most of the day. In fact, we're going to be feeling 30s. And as we go into your Monday, more rounds of very cold air once again. Like I said, this is just a tease, but I'll take it. I'm looking forward to those warmer days. It's been breezy today. And then as we go into tonight, it's going to stay fairly breezy. And for your Thursday afternoon, those winds pick up once again coming out of the west. You can see there between 15 and 20 miles per hour across the entire triad. And for Friday afternoon, sort of a copy and paste again, breezy conditions. This keeps continuing for the next several days. You can see that entire forecast, including those very chilly temperatures to start out next week. We're already through the halfway mark of February, and yes, winter is saying, I'm not going anywhere just quite yet.
Monique, thank you. Well, every little girl dreams of being a princess on her big day, and the dress has to match that dream. That's why Disney released its Fairy Tale Weddings 2022 dress collection, an enchanting and magical collection of gowns inspired by the Disney princesses themselves. And looking at their website, Disney has listed each dress according to the princess's style. There's Ariel, Aurora, Belle, Cinderella, and so many others. It's not the first time Disney had a Fairy Tale Weddings collection. The collection has fashioned real-life princesses since 2020. The dresses are fit for a princess's budget too, with dresses starting at $1,799. But wow, they are beautiful. If I would have had the option to get a princess-inspired gown like this when I got married, I would have done it.
Yeah, this Tiana and this Snow
like
White,
Aurora's.
they are giving me life. I love these sleeves on this Jasmine. You know, when I heard Disney, I was thinking the dresses were going to look kind of like cartoonish.
Yes, yes.
But this is...
So apparently, yeah, so just, I guess, the style, not the actual look.
Yeah,
Because that's
it's
the first thing I thought of,
beautiful.
too. Where you're going to have, like, you know, Belle will be in a gold gown.
Yeah.
Or, right.
Yeah, so if you could scroll back up to the Rapunzel gown. So it's funny because, yeah, right there, that's like the exact style and shape that my wedding dress was.
Oh, really?
And y'all, guess who my favorite princess is? Rapunzel.
Oh, it was nice.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. My entire explore page on Instagram is wedding dresses. So not like there's anything happening in the future, but you know, I just have it saved, you know, for the future, and I love looking at them because they're so beautiful.
They are.
They are. Well,
Yeah.
talk about that price tag, though.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I know wedding dresses can be really expensive depending on how
Yeah,
far
I
you
would
want
say
to go.
that's probably
About right.
average.
Really?
It's a special day for
Yeah.
your life, so if you want to invest that kind of money, you know, I say go for it.
See, I have one daughter, so I'm going out of my 4. Okay, that's good. That's
Can you
good.
imagine the dads that have 4 daughters?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, my dad has 2 daughters, so
Yeah, I had 3 sisters.
and we're still waiting to walk down the aisles, so they still.
Hey, that's more savings can go into the wedding
That's
fund,
exactly
right?
right. If you had to guess the average cost of a wedding these days, what do you think?
So in 2019, I think the average was about $30,000.
I think it's like 50,000.
No way.
50,000
Really?
for a
Well,
wedding
because-
dress?
No,
for a
the
whole
wedding.
wedding.
The
I
whole
was about
wedding.
to
For the whole
say.
wedding, yeah,
the
like
entire
50,000.
wedding.
Because like some venues are like 20,000, 30,000.
Goodness.
It's expensive.
Depending on where you're looking. I mean, if you're in a rural place, then like maybe not. But like if you're in the city or you want a really great view on the water or those types of things, and you have a lot of guests. I mean, the plates themselves are like $150 per person. If you have a party of 100.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
and honestly, if you want to have an open bar, that's going to be the most expensive part
Yeah,
of your
yep.
wedding. I have a friend that's planning right now, and I mean, it's just crazy. It's almost better to get married on a Friday or a Sunday night because it's cheaper.
Or
that's
during
interesting.
the week, right? I've been
Yeah.
to weddings that have been on like Wednesday mornings and afternoons. So
Y'all are making me nervous. Drew's only
Hey, start
Drew's
that
only
account.
8.
Drew,
I
get
know.
ready.
I bet I got 20 years to save.
But you want to do everything to make your daughter happy,
you're
right?
right
She's
about
going to
that.
get everything
and,
she
and all
asks
the
for.
rest, see, that's she's the youngest, right? So it'll be a little bit easier then. I'm fooling myself. We'll be back.
With Valentine's Day on the way, you're probably thinking about how to spoil your special someone and not about breaking up with them. If something were to happen to you and your partner, a question you may have thought to ask yourself, or maybe not, who gets custody of the passwords? Nearly 8 in 10 Americans in a relationship share passwords on every digital platform. That includes things like social media, email, cell phones, and mobile wallets, according to encryption service ExpressVPN. Researchers say most people keep streaming information after a breakup for the convenience, to save money, or to maintain a friendship afterwards. No matter what you choose, experts warn sharing profiles can put your personal information at risk, so make sure you're protecting that personal information.
So speaking of couples, Valentine's Day less than a week away. So I asked you on Facebook, do you celebrate Valentine's Day traditionally, or do you even celebrate at all for that matter? And a lot of you responded. Pamela Finland says, yes, my husband and I celebrate, and normally with another couple or two, and we will go out to eat. Curtis Alred says, since I'm single these days, I don't really celebrate much at all. Jerome Smith wrote, we don't celebrate it anymore because to us, every day is Valentine's. Jonathan Jones wrote, since I'm single, I treat myself to something. Cassia Kathy says, me and the husband definitely celebrate. Every year it is something different. This year he planned a fun date and I planned a romantic date. Plus, it is my comedy anniversary. She's a comedian, very funny. Helen Whitaker wrote, we don't anymore, but my husband buys me flowers all through the year. And then Clifton Alexander says, I celebrate V-Day because for all my wife does to support me, being my ride or die, as far as I'm concerned, every day should be Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I love that. That's sweet. So I think definitely towards the beginning of our relationship, we like always went out to eat somewhere nice and dressed up and like really took advantage of Valentine's Day. Now it's more just like something simple, like a card, or like Jake will always give me flowers. But this year I already gave Jake his present from Baylor. This weekend when he was gone, we did some arts and crafts. So we made a little Valentine for him.
Yeah.
And I couldn't like wait to give it to him. So I was like, I'm giving you your Valentine's Day gift now.
That's so cute.
I'm big on like kind of like doesn't matter what day it is, kind of just always showing appreciation. My boyfriend used to get me flowers every single week when he was here. But he told me he has something planned for Valentine's Day, but he's one of those where like he kind of wants to tell me but doesn't want to tell me, so I'm like, what are you gonna do?
So that's why you've been looking at those wedding dresses on
Right?
Instagram.
That's exactly where my head was going.
Something big happening coming up on this Valentine's Day. But I'm with a lot of the commenters. I think when you are in a relationship with someone, you know, every day is Valentine's Day, and I think Valentine's Day doesn't just have to be romantic. You can get your mother something for Valentine's Day, your
Galentine's
sister,
Day.
your friends. I've celebrated Galentine's Day as well too.
It's fun.
But I love Valentine's Day. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Let us know what you think on our Facebook page. We'll be right back.
Probably okay. All right, not that we need a reason to celebrate this food because it's one of my favorites, but in case you were unaware, it is National Pizza Day. So I know that people like all kinds of pizza, right? But I asked you on Facebook to tell me if there is a frozen pizza that kind of rivals restaurant pizza. So Mary Kate says, once in a while, DiGiorno or Red Baron, but restaurant pizza is always a winner there. Alex Stanley says, my go-to frozen pizza has been DiGiorno, but I have found using, I've never heard of this, Penzeys Spices frozen pizza seasoning makes it much better. Okay. Linda says, DiGiorno, they're so much like the ones at Pizza Hut, and you can add your own toppings if you like, and she said it's cheaper, of course. Alan Hodges says, frozen pizza's all right in a pinch, but freshly made cannot be beat. Christine agrees. She said there isn't a frozen pizza that can compare to fresh made. And then Glenn just had one word. He's like, no. No, frozen does not match up to restaurant. So we decided to do a taste test of our own. So I'm going to put this in the middle so you guys, and let me kind of step over. So Lauren, if you want to come over here. What I did was we have one that is frozen, one that is a national chain, and one that's a local mom and pop. So I did not tell you don't let containers fool you, because that has nothing to do with it. And I even we even had them like take a pizza cutter and cut them in different shapes so you don't get an idea. So you guys
do you want initial thoughts or eat?
Well, I mean, I'm going to let Monique comment for a minute, because we were talking. Let me step out of the way so we can see Monique. Because she was looking at it and say, right. So just by looking, do you think you can tell the difference?
I think when you have like the frozen pizza, it kind of settles a little bit differently than when you had pizza that was freshly made. Like I feel like it just looks a little bit like the frozen pizza looks too perfect, you know?
Oh yeah,
So-
like it's just a picture of pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that is yet, but I think this is frozen because
Which number
the
is
little
that?
pieces. Number one.
Okay,
The
I'm
little.
gonna hold on, you guys figure out, say which ones you think they all are, and then I'll tell you which one's right. Number one, number two, or
I
number
got
three.
it. I know what it is.
So let's go down the line. Lauren, number one you think is what?
Frozen.
What do you think?
Frozen.
You are correct.
Okay.
I think number 3, the one that Stacy's eating right now, is the one from the food chain.
That's what I
Number
think.
two-
I think number
two?
2 is a restaurant.
And
And number
three?
3 is
So what do you think with 2 and 3?
I think that this is chain and this is local.
Okay.
yeah, chain. That's what I meant by restaurant.
No, mine's
This one?
opposite.
This is 3 is chain.
3 is chain.
2
number
is
one.
local.
No, I think 3
1
is
is
local,
frozen.
2 is chain.
Okay, Lauren is right. 2 is local, 3 is a national chain. And
Oh,
that's
man.
But it's funny, everybody
I
knew
can tell
frozen,
by the
right?
No, look at
I
the
can
pizza,
tell by the
though.
crust that this is a chain.
But this one, I think, is made from a local pizzeria because the way that cheese sits, when cheese melts, it just looks like different. You know, compared to that, cheese is like
Let's
light.
face it, there's no bad pizza.
I
in
mean,
my book.
I enjoy all of
I
it.
think
I
local
had a
pizza
light lunch
is the
today, y'all, so
best.
that's why I'm pigging out on this, because I had a light lunch.
I'm a Jersey girl, so in Jersey, every
that's real pizza.
you know other town, you got pizza everywhere, real pizza.
Besides like the texture and stuff, what I was saying earlier, see these little pieces of, I think that's pepperoni. You only find that on frozen. Have y'all noticed that? I've
Oh,
never
the
seen
little
that.
tiny
And I
one.
probably
Yes.
could guess the brand, but
No, we're not.
I'm
Yeah,
not
we're not
gonna out them,
Yeah, we're
but
not
I
talking
can guess the
names.
brand on that.
I think I really like this one though.
Now that I look at it, the pepperonis.
I
do
never
look
thought
different.
that so much excitement would come from
That pepperoni
6
looks
pieces of
real.
cold pizza. But that's what happened today on the 4 to 5. We're gonna take a break. I'll let them finish. Having fun. That is some good pizza.
I love
there.
the 4 to 5.
I feel like every other day we've talked about pizza.
I'm literally eating this piece.
Me too, I finished this one. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mamma mia, it's a pizza day. 1, 2.
Hey there, Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas. Arkansas.
Sorry, I have food in my mouth. Pizza.
One, two, three, four, 5. Oh, it's not on. Hold on. Oh, I am on? 4, 5, 6.
We lost you.
Oh, this is today is a mess.
It's time for my 2 cents. When I think of Black history, I don't just think of the month of February. I think of it for 365 days a year. Black people played a vital and major role in the development of America. Growing up, Black History and Black History Month were always celebrated in my household. As the daughter of an Army colonel, I moved around a lot, and often I was the only Black child in my classroom. My parents made it their duty to ensure my sister and I knew our Black history, and that we learned about the leaders and activists who helped create a space for us to be successful and obtain opportunities that were once not attainable to Blacks. I remember in the 2nd grade, my parents took my sister and I to visit Frederick Douglass's home. Reading his memoir at such a young age sparked my interest in Black studies, learning beyond the figures who are typically discussed in a public classroom. Medgar Evers, Marcus Garvey, Ella Baker, and Ida B. Wells. The list goes on. Throughout high school, I competed in multiple Martin Luther King oratorical competitions, crafting my own speeches based on Dr. King's philosophy. My desire to learn more about Black history intensified as I entered my first year at the University of Virginia. As an English and African American Studies double major, I took courses on food in the African diaspora, African American theater, racial politics, and public health. People often ask me, what can you do with an African American Studies degree? My response, change the world. Education not only spreads awareness, but it gives perspective and context to the diverse world we live in. Knowing my Black history helps shape me as a person, an American,